or world of Comedy 5 entertainment. So to give you the idea of what Unbiased is, we always see things on social media and also in the world where we wonder what is the thought process behind these idiotic things that people do. We're going to give an honest, unbiased opinion. So with that being said, we're going to cover several different topics. These topics will start from mental health, addiction, finance, incarceration, relationships. We're going to be truly unbiased this season. So remember, tune in at 8 p.m. Check us out on Boss Up Houston Network. Tonight is the season finale. So normally with finales, you want to close things off. You want to round out the entire season. So we got something special for y'all tonight here. So with closure, we brought my good friend Jay Cookie.
Hey.
So
what's up, Ken?
It's all good. So Jay Cookie, tell the people about yourself.
Hey, I'm Jay Cookie, a comedian. Been doing about 6 months. Came in the game off some crazy shit. Can I say shit?
Yeah, you can say whatever
okay,
you want.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Whatever you want.
Yes. Okay, yeah. I don't know how to start.
You say crazy shit.
Yeah, because you said closure.
Yeah. So, I mean, judging by your comedy, when we hear your sets, you have a multitude of stories. You talk about like your time when you was on reality television for a specific thing.
Oh my goodness. And I got closure with that too. That's why I'm a comedian. But yeah, definitely was on the Judge Mathis show at one time in my life. But I'm hashtag fuck Judge Mathis, okay? Because I did not win my case.
Oh.
So I have not watched it really since then.
Wow.
They tried to play me. They called me a promiscuous pill popper. Low-key said I was a crackhead and told the whole world I was cheating on my husband when really I wasn't cheating on my husband because my husband knew what I had going on.
Wow. You know, Mathis always won't call him about the damn crackhead.
He sure do. And this time he kind of didn't call me one. The girl who I sued in our argument on the internet used his face in a meme that said, I know a crackhead when I see one. So I showed him that, and it made him laugh. And we made Clip of the Week from me doing that.
Wow. So
I was Clip of the Week that week, too.
So, I mean, kind of go into that story, too, where you talk about, you say your husband knew what was going on, and you also tell a story about the demise of your husband and also life of your husband. If you could kind of let the audience know a little bit.
Yeah, so keep in mind, first of all, I did not want to be involved in no extracurricular relationships with my relationship. I do not advise that, but we had so much going on. His family caused me to cheat. Okay, that could happen. So that's what was going on. It was just with one person for a multitude of years. So anyway, he got crazy, the side dude. He really got crazy, and he demised too, which means he died. A crackhead killed him on some shit. And it's really like a testimonial story. I'm glad he got before me, So he had got, and so that's how he gone. And we was just moving on past that because it was so much. Like, he was lost in the woods for 2 months before they found his body, the side dude. Then it took 6 months for him to be identified through DNA. So it took him 8 months to have a funeral from when he went missing. So that was the craziest shit ever. So then 2 months later, after we had his funeral, my husband died, like, of a massive heart attack at 41 years old. And it just pisses me off sometimes because some of his family members had so much to say about me negatively, but nobody told him how to maintain high blood pressure. Because he was the first person I heard die from it, because my grandfather, aunties, uncles, all the old people in my family had high blood pressure, and they still living. He's the first. I never knew it could kill you. So now I'm mad at all the older people who keep wanting to judge the younger folks but not tell us what's really important, and that's get under doctor's care if you have issues like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but to me, it was closure in a sense. Since your topic is closure, because people were rooting for the demise of my marriage. I mean, so much so his family hooked him up with another lady and didn't care what he was doing to his old family. Like not supporting us and stuff like that. That's how I feel. I mean, they put this other lady in the obituary. They was like survived by the wife and survived by the other lady. Like, what family do that knowing that they relative is still married? They just wanted the divorce so bad. But to me, God said no. God was like no. And when he passed, it brought peace to me because it was like God solidified our union. I mean, this is a black man that married his baby mama. Like, I got 3 kids with him, and these are the only kids he got. So in my eyes, he was doing what he was supposed to do, like thus said the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And the world can get mad at you when you're doing the right thing. Like, they were mad at us. They wanted us to be baby mama, baby daddy so god doggone bad. And when we were headed to that road, that bitter road, it ceased. Like, that husband that y'all wanted him to see with the next chick couldn't even happen. So that's what makes me feel like I was the best wife he ever had, and y'all never clapped. And that's kind of what brought me into comedy, is because I was wrestling for like 2 years, like, to do comedy. Like, when I came back from the Judge Master show, I was so devastated. It made me feel like I had lost everything. Because I didn't have a friend that had my back, a family didn't have, and then it felt like I was even losing my husband, because I came back home and told my husband, you gotta go. Because if you didn't come with me to defend my honor on this show, gone. He was like, but she said you was cheating on me. I was like, but she also said I was a crackhead. You could have came and defended that, So we was breaking up, and so I kind of feel in my spirit the only way to right this wrong is through literal writing, right? So I started writing raps, I started writing jokes, and I had performed at the Improv once and got a well reception. But as you know, comedy is scary as F-U-C-K, okay?
It sure is.
So it took me like 2 months to like come back, because I have to fight myself to do positive things sometimes. It took me a while to come back, and then I tried one more spot at the Laugh Factory, or whatever that spot was, our 45
Joke joint.
Yeah, a few years ago. And I didn't do too well, so I had quit coming. But for 2 years, I mean, it was just harassing me in my brain. All my friends at the time was harassing me. When you gonna try? Because I naturally make my friends laugh, And I just never knew how to translate that to the stage. But then when my husband died, it was a reminder. Okay, when the side nigga and the husband died, okay? Because the side nigga used to push me to do my rap and to do comedy too, And when he died, it kind of made me feel like, that's why he was rushing me, because he might have known his time was limited. And then that's why I say when my husband died, it was more shock, because it was like time is limited. And so, ironically, on his birthday, I didn't even realize it was his birthday, but the very first time I picked up the mic, the second time around, was on his first birthday after he died. And I just ran my shit for 20 minutes, got a good reception. This time I trained myself, and I said I just didn't want to take a day off, because comedy was like algebra. I was like, if I take a day off, I'm going to be too many days behind, So I just wanted to try a mic as many times as I could, just to try to get the hang of it. So, that's what I've been doing now, like for 6 months, and I get good reception. I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing all the way, but it's a great way to, try to get my healing. I feel like that's what I'm also trying to do.
Because I know that you were recently in a competition at Rudyard's.
Yes, sir.
And you were victorious.
Yes, sir.
So for y'all that may not know, Rudyard's is a very mainstream comedy venue. They run shows there every week. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Brian. But for her to go over into the mainstream where you have veterans, and for her to be victorious, that's a huge honor.
Yes.
So kind of tell the people what took place when you were going through that competition. What was your mindset? How did you prepare yourself? And then how did you feel when you won?
Well, the way I prepare myself is through reading, watching videos. Like, in order to do this comedy thing, I must have to be like a athlete. That's what somebody was telling me, because I literally watch the videos and try to read books and try to figure out how to write. So I was working on that. And I just wanted to be myself and tell my story. It's just amazing to me, like I say all the time, like how these dead husband jokes are working. Like, people really crack up once I say my husband died. But I really think that that's grace. Maybe God had gave me some type of grace in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because I really wanted to get out of my boat and do this for like God. God gets the glory. And sometimes I think that's why things can take off, you know what I'm saying? Because when you plug to the right source, then, because really sometimes before I do my writing too, I also have to read my Bible, you know what I'm saying, to make sure I get that word in me before I start writing down words, you know what I'm saying? So I can make sure that his message gets across, because I'm just a vessel, you know. I'm just a vessel. So, but yeah, it was that. Cause, and then, you know, if you heard my bits, you know, I got at least 4 scripture jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I take the scripture and I kind of twist them, and so, you know, I use those too, and those jokes got me over too.
Rod and thy staff will comfort me.
Yeah. I say I know a rod and a pair of staff, Jesus, that do bring confidence. Okay. Yes, Lord. Look, I say he prepares me on the table in the presence of my enemies. So yes, baby. Ain't no other way to get ate out but on the table in the presence of your enemies. Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about? That for real. Look.
Yes, Lord.
Cup running over.
Yes, Lord. Yes, they do. Okay. Yes, they do.
See that, and that's what I like. When I saw that, and I also saw your progression from the beginning. And I was equally proud when I saw you were victorious. Then also people started to give you that right recognition and that billing. So you now on the circuit at Rudyard's and everywhere else every week, ain't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I be feeling like it's not like that, but you know, for right now I am. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like there every week.
Yeah.
And it's still a shock to me, you know. Like I said, I've always been like naturally funny, but I've never like taken my funny to the stage. So this is like something that I've always been, but kind of something different too at the same time, because it's on the stage, you know. But that's what Judge Mathis had showed me that. People want to know what I'm doing. They want to hear about me, because I used to live my life under a rock before then, just trying to survive depression and trying to gain the will to live. You know what I'm saying? And I really thought that nobody cared about me. But when that girl took me to the Judge Mathis show and she posted the video, she got over 30,000 views just from saying my name. Like, this bitch could never get a view off her own name. As soon as she said my name, it was like a flood of views. And that showed me something like, bitch, they checking for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, they want to know you, but they don't know you. That's what kind of started making me feel like maybe I'm a celebrity where these hoes think they know me, but don't know me. Because people just know me because I could be in the middle of a room talking loud and making everybody laugh. So, you know, if you do that in the classroom, like sitting, everybody will swear they know you, but don't nobody know you. Because the way that girl was making them allegations on the Judge Mathis show, I was like, hey, look, this bitch was trying to tell me my life better than me. I couldn't even, if you see me on that episode, I couldn't even get a word in. I was like, well, goddamn, bitch, keep talking.
But who was she?
Just some random hoe, because me and her was really not friends. We just was associates, kind of went to school together. We're not in the same grade, and we lived in the same neighborhood. I did know her sister, and I saw on social media that she did hair. So I had went to her for hair. You know, I went to her for my daughter hair, my hair, and then I was getting ready to go again for the daughter hair. But then that's when we had the problem, you know what I'm saying? And then she went out, you know, she went on the internet and just really was trying to act like she knew me based off my post or something like that. Like, just based off, because you ain't seen me in 10 years. And you out here talking about I'm a crack bitch. Do you know how much I gotta, like, fight not to, you know what I'm saying? Like, saving grace, God's grace kept me from never doing stuff like that. You just gonna come out and say, bitch. But it was okay, because let me tell you what God told me in that, that sometimes you need those titles. You need somebody to call you a crackhead so God can show that ain't stopped nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord had already told me after all of this, he said, if you was a crackhead, you get crackhead results. And seeing how I ain't getting no crackhead results, then baby, that mean that ain't nothing for you to worry about. The girl, she wanted to call me a hoe, a promiscuous woman and stuff, but the Lord told me use it, baby. They just want to know how you have sex. So sometimes my best jokes is when I'm talking about what I do in the goddamn bedroom.
And you broke. I had some props. I got some props. I ain't never seen some of them props before. I was like, oh my God. I say you actually can screw that one on.
You can.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I was like, and then that's the good thing about it, because what I learned as well throughout this season is nobody can really impeach your character if people are already aware of your character. So people already know who you are. So when people talk negative about you, it's not really making no difference. It's like noise.
But look, now they know me. Then they didn't. I wasn't outside as much back then, so that's what that also taught me, to come outside, because when you're not outside, people make up stories about where you at. You know. So that's why it's important to be outside. So motherfuckers can see me, bitch. I'm right here, not on crack. Like, bitch, don't do that. Don't do that.
Man,
But I think. I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank every hater that ever hated on me, because these bitches really helped me up my game up and go to the next level. Like, even my husband's aunt, like, you know how she hooked him up with the next girl and stuff, and she put the bitch in the obituary. Like they say, that's why they call it an obituary. Okay, oh bitch. Oh, but anyway, that's one of my best jokes, telling my crowds that, look, survived by the wife and survived by the mistress, and I pull up it. So I tell her, thank you, because what the devil meant for harm, God could use it for my good. So thank y'all.
So I know you're a part of WOW.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the ladies.
Women on the way.
Yes.
So, all right, so from your perspective, tell me how you got a part of that collective, and what's our next steps now?
Well, see, look, they knew about Bitch when they synced her. Yeah, I think maybe Kayla or Tracy had was putting it together, and then they thought about ladies they want to add, and by the grace of God, they wanted to add me after only like 3 months in the game, And we did our first show May 13th, and there's another one coming here in the weeks to come, the Car Wash Comedy Show. So we still out here working, doing our thing for sure.
Yeah, I was in Atlanta yesterday. When I got on stage, somebody told me that they were going to be at the Car Wash Comedy Show. What? And they were not from Houston.
What? Hey, see? Worldwide.
They asked me if I knew Ratchet Tracy.
Yeah.
I won't say who that person name is, but when that show come around, I might just pop in there. Just to show some hometown love, because that's one of my partners from out there. They say that they're going to be down with it, so I want to show love.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah. So, I know that it was a couple that was very instrumental in getting you on the road with comedy. So, can you kind of describe your relationship with Cliff, too, and Penny?
Yes. Shout out to them behind the comic. You know what I'm saying? It was something about they posts that made me feel comfortable enough to try it again. And if it wasn't for that post and their platform, I wouldn't even be doing comedy. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, I don't know, I was just scrolling, and Penny made a post and it said, hey, do you got a little bit you want to work out? Are you new to comedy? Like, I don't know. It was just something it was saying that made me feel like they was like, this is the spot for you. So I was like, definitely pulled up. And by me pulling up there, they of course they showed me to other rooms. They even the people that told me to try Secret Group, like, because I didn't even know in comedy that they had black rooms and white rooms. Now it ain't no segregation shit. It's just that whoever's the predominant race in the audience, that's kind of like what that room is. So, but for the black rooms, they really helped me get comfortable in my talking shit. Because that's what black comics do a lot. We just kind of talk shit. The white comics kind of do setup and punchlines. I'm not trying to say black folks don't do this too, but like basically we just talk. Like I know me, I can maybe speak for I talk a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really grateful for that opportunity to grow. I mean, I fell several times though, and Cliff always say sometimes when he introduced me, he remember me shaking up there in my boots, like literal, my legs was shaking, trying to ask him, let me come down from this stage, please. But that's why I like this time around, because no matter how scary it gets or whatever, I'm still out here. I'm still trying, still trying. A girl could try to fight me, and I'm still gonna do a mic because it's really happened twice.
Well, now we got help. You got help. Help is on the way. Because us brothers, we got your back too.
Hey.
You know that.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so we're gonna try something a little bit different on this show as well. Later on in the show, Jay Cookie got a surprise for everybody, but we'll hold that off. So before we get to that, what I want to do, I want to ask you one more thing. So since you going through the first year, and your first year has been marvelous, has been magnificent, what do you foresee toward the end of the year and next year that you'll be able to achieve with comedy and also with your entertainment that you're doing?
I can only say by the grace of God, I hit bigger stages, because I tell you this, the success that I've already had, I'm still in wonder, how that happened, So I can only hope. That's how I like to talk. Some people don't like you to talk like that, but I can only hope for bigger stages, and more opportunities. Because one thing they telling me, that nervousness, I do get nervous. I do feel pressure, and it's like a terrible feeling, And they telling me it's never going to go away, because the more you do it, the bigger the stage will be and the bigger the audience will be. So you just got to get with it. I just can only see growth. Because one thing I don't want to be is kind of stuck in the same city. That's like a fear right now that can haunt me like a cloudy day. I don't want to get stuck in the same city, but for right now, I just try to show up and see where this will take me.
Right, but I mean, just keep your eye open for opportunities where you can go elsewhere. Like some of the advice I would give you, if you're on shows or you're around the circuit and you meet folks from other markets, talk to them, network. You know what I'm saying? If y'all build a good enough relationship, they'll be like, hey, when you come out here, I'm going to show you what's up out here. But the main thing is to make that step to go, right? And then also know, what I would say, study the entire environment and what you're doing, right? So where do you feel your style is most needed, right? So let's just say if you were more structured and you were more of a heavy writer, you would want to go to New York or the East Coast. If you were a person that, not to say that it's less intelligent, but let's just say if you're a person that talks shit a lot, you might want to go to Atlanta, or you might want to go to Chicago or any one of those places to test your mettle. So it's all about knowing where you want to be, and then you just set your goal to go there.
Cool.
So look here, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but when we return, we got a surprise for you. Y'all hang in tight. Y'all with Kid Mills on Unbiased on Boss Up Houston Network.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up,
stay up.
look up, stay up, and this is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Want to be a boss? Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and finance with Boss Up Houston, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss.
And we're back. Now, I said since this is a finale, nobody ever really hear me say anything. I always ask people questions. I say, who better to get to ask me some questions than my girl Jay Cookie, because she's very inquisitive and she going to get down to the bottom of it. So with no more delay, the show is in Jay Cookie hands. Go ahead.
Hey, look, my little handy dandy notepad here. So I just had a couple of questions,
Okay.
I didn't want to pry too deep.
Yeah.
But I was like, you remind me of a Pimp C, only if he did comedy,
Okay.
And so I just wanted to know, does Pimp C in his music have any influence on your style and, how you, what's the word, like, address things?
I ain't gonna lie to you, Pimp C one of my biggest influences. Pimp C period. And it started back from Tell Me Something Good. I heard that in 92 and I was at Ryan. And I looked at the cover and it was a light-skinned dude with glasses. And he wasn't really chubby, but he was a little bit stocky and he had a high-pitched voice, and at the time I had a high-pitched voice. And he just seemed cool as hell. I was like, all right, I mess with Pimp. But there's also some underlying influences. Like, I like a lot of East Coast music. So, I love Wu-Tang. So, Raekwon and Ghostface, even Biggie Small. But for the most part, Pimp.
Yeah, definitely. What made you desire to be a comedian?
Well, I'm be honest with you. People felt that I was funny. And most times, and people see this now, sometimes when I get upset, it's comical. I'm very direct. I'm very honest. I like to say what I feel. And most times when I say what I feel, it brings laughter to people. So I said, why not? Why not try it? So my friend, Mo, my brother, me and him grew up together. He was cranking me up. He was like, hey, why don't you go do it? So I went to Sikh group a long time ago, and I did it. It was me, my ex-wife, my ex-sister-in-law, and her dude. They was in there, and it went all right. But I didn't really want to do it until I went to an 85 South show. I had bought front row tickets, and I was sitting there. And at the time, I was 400 pounds. It was a white guy sitting next to me. I wasn't trying to be mean to the dude. I was just sitting there, and because I was so big, my arm was in his chest the whole time.
Yes, oh my God.
And he tried to get up. But I wasn't trying to let him up. So the whole time, he's sitting like this.
Oh, geez.
So Carlos, DC Young Fly, all of them caught on to that. And they saw it, and they started riding it. So after I went to the back, and they asked me if I tried comedy, if I did comedy. I told them I tried one, but they was like, you should do it. So the next week I was in Vegas, and I tried in Vegas. And after that, I went to Carrington's, and that's where my journey began.
Hey, shout out to Carol.
Yeah, Cliff 2.
Yeah.
Cliff 2 pulled me out of this certain place I was at because they would always give me like number 30 on the list.
No, that's not good.
Nah, he was like, come on over here.
Yeah.
So appreciate it to him.
Yeah, you just mentioned something about having an ex-wife. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're going through a divorce. I'm sorry to hear that. Mm-hmm. How do you remain funny through some of those dark or hard days?
So I ain't gonna lie to you. It took a lot. Sometimes when you have personal pain, you have to figure out a way to make it funny. And then sometimes when you go through things, it hurt so bad that you gotta laugh at it. That's the only way that you be able to survive it. Because if you really took it serious, or if you really took those things to heart, I wouldn't say you'll harm yourself, but I say the residual effect of that will tear you down. It'll tear you down mentally, physically, hell, financially, because if your mind not right, you're not going to be able to function and sustain. So you got to figure out a healthy way to make it funny. So what I always do, I always think of the things that make me laugh about certain situations, and I just talk about them.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm like, your birthday is coming up. I see. You have any plans?
No, I don't. I just,
You got time, though. You got time.
yeah, I know my lady friend got something nice for me, but I really, to be honest with y'all, I'm simple. If I wake up in the morning, go to Starbucks, and I get me a iced black tea lemonade, Trent, the big one, I'm good. And give me a black and mild, happy birthday.
Simple things.
Yeah. I like to be hydrated.
But I hope you get more than that on your birthday, okay?
I hope so too.
Yeah. You recently received a presidential honor for community service, so shout out to that. You know, you have a swag worth millions and just an overall boss. I wanted to know, how does it feel to be you?
Well, I'm be honest. It's draining. It's draining as hell. It's draining as hell because my day will start at 4 in the morning. Wow. And I try to schedule my day from 4 in the morning all the way to 8 o'clock. And I try to fit in the most important pieces in my life. Wow. So normally I try to fit in some type of way to exercise. I try to fit in some type of way where I can have a minute to meditate. Or I might need to talk to my mama. Hey, or my aunties.
Hey, y'all.
Or my lady friend. I make sure that I put a time in there for everybody. But the most part is always being consistent with progress. Because how I started out, I always want to end up totally different. And also, what I want to tell people too, you can fail, but don't be afraid to fail. Failure gives you experience. So once you lose, you use that experience to win again. Sometimes a loss is a win in itself.
I know that's right. Fantasia said that, okay? You ever heard that song, Lose to Win?
Yeah.
That's one of my faves right there. I was curious about your upbringing, 2-parent household. Mm-hmm. Any challenges? If so, how did you overcome those?
Well, I'm be honest, well, my daddy not here no more. So I can be real. I ain't never said this on camera, but okay. Yeah, I had a 2-parent household. My mom, shout out to her, she worked for 45 years as a licensed nurse. My daddy did all different types of jobs. My daddy was in the house, but my daddy used to like to drink. Heavy to the point where sometimes it would cause conflict. It would cause either conflict between me and him or him and my mama. But it'd never be no physical conflict. It would always be verbal. And there'll always be something that's lacking. So when I always talk about a generational curse, I'm kind of talking about that, but I put it in this perspective. Yeah, I might like to have a few drinks, but I'd never let a drink or anything overrule my life to where I can't function.
That's real.
But my daddy was number one, a real man, you know what I'm saying, number one, but everybody got their faults. The people that know me, they know what I grew up with. But for the most part, my mother always was a constant. My dad was a constant too. And to tell everybody how I kind of grew up, imagine your daddy wake you up with Bobby Blue Bland playing. He cussing you out in old jokes,
Yeah.
but he cooking for you at the same time. Every morning he would make scrambled eggs and pan sausage. He'd put them together with toast. And he ironed my clothes every day. All the way up to I probably was like in 8th grade. And he told me, he said, look, if you gonna come out, you gonna be clean. So that's why my image the way it is, because I always been this way. My daddy was like, look, what you finna put on? because he was the type that always wear slacks and had the little Sansa belt buckle on the side and wear a dress shirt and had a fro.
That is clean.
Yeah, so I mean,
that's where you get it from.
Yeah.
That's what my like one of my last final questions was. I was just curious to know, how do you keep it so sexy? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
You say, did you get it from your daddy?
I don't know. I ain't never think I was sexy.
Yes, you don't think so?
No, I just think I'm here.
Yeah.
Like Black Smooth, he say he here, he here. That's what I think. I think I'm just here.
Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure that I have missed questions, $1 million questions on how do you get to your $1 million. Because, when I'm around you, I really just want to know, how do you get to the money?
Oh. So I'm disciplined.
Yeah.
So I'm disciplined. I step into everything with a certain level of discipline and a certain level of organization. So, like I tell everybody, it's 24 hours in a day. So if you want to be successful, the way that you plan out your 24 hours will be the most important. Being punctual, being on time. If you say that you're going to do something, do it. Also, be innovative, no matter what you do. If you a person like you cook out in your house and you make Alfredo plate, what make your Alfredo plate better than anybody else? Do you have parsley flakes on it? Do you have a good Tupperware, the good container to put it in? Do you have anything monogrammed with your name on it so you can sell it? Always think like that. And then that way that puts you head and shoulders above whoever else doing it. And then always, if you go get it, come back with it. Put it together, put it to the side. Don't try to overdo everybody. Do what you can do.
That's right. You Mr. Worldwide to me, And obviously from talking to you right now, I'm one of the hardest working people out here in the city doing this thing. So I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for the opportunity you gave me tonight.
For real? Because it looked like I be doing a lot.
Yeah, like you real chill, but you because I remember one time we was at an open mic and the open mic was about to close and you sponsored the whole open mic. Like you raised you did like Jesus something at the party. You said keep the party going. You know what I'm saying? You put it on your tab. So you a quiet boss. So you probably be walking around here not saying that, but from the looks of me, I think you a quiet motherfucker that's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfucker really ought to be close to you. You know what I'm saying? So we could get Mr. Worldwide, because I want to be worldwide. So, and I know, you try to give people to play, but you know how them parents say sometimes the kids don't listen. I know you be out here trying to get the people to play. I sometimes pray to God that I hear the plays you try to give me and I act on them. Because, the Bible says you got to not only be hearers, but doers. Yeah. So that's the most important right there. I want to be a doer.
But see, most of the time, and I'll be honest as well, the quiet part is I don't be wanting people to know. And then I want to be out there in the front anyway. And I share this with everybody. Like, the way that I do everything is the most reserved way I could possibly do it. You see, all of the other comedians, they post skits. They post these things. They put themselves in different situations or put themselves in different light. Not to knock them, but I wouldn't do that for me because I'm trying to figure out there's places that I can be, but there's places where that negative image or that goofy image can't really go. So I have to craft it a certain way in order to get in them rooms too. Because I want to be able to see the entire game holistically. I don't want to just be like the person that's known for this or the person that's known for that. But I want it to be as professional as possible. So when you do see it, it'll kind of catch you. And by doing that, I found different ways to market. I found different ways to for people to do promo. Also, innovative ideas to bring people to your craft. So I'm just trying to figure all that out because I know it's more to just being funny or more than a person seeing buffoonery from you and feeling like that's all you have to offer. Us being black entertainers, we multi-dimensional. Many of us have many gifts. Like your friend Sherelle, she could sing.
Yes.
And she could tell a joke.
Yes.
Like you could rap, you could tell a joke. And I also see like you doing books. You could also be a motivational speaker. Mm-hmm. You could do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So not try to put yourself in one box or give it to them too raw in this one box to where you can't move around and diversify.
That's right. Yeah, when I think of you, I think distinguished.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I sure appreciate that. You know, you ask me whatever you want, and I'll tell you the truth.
Well, you know, we talked off camera. I don't.
I tell you the truth. I ain't ashamed.
Dang, you make me wish I had my ear to the gossip.
I don't care. Yeah. Ask anything in the gossip streets.
You know, but this is how it was with me on the Judge Mathis show. They was like, you ain't got no tea on these people, man. I be so worried about myself. Mm-hmm. I do not have a tea on nobody. You can tell me, though, what I need to know about you.
Oh. Well, my pet peeve is
Great question.
When people talk shit. Mm. And I hear it, and then I remember. And when I don't see you activate like that, I got a problem. Mm. It could be anything. It could be like, you know, people talking about they're going to do something to somebody, talking about that they feel a certain way about somebody. But then I don't see that. Mm-hmm. I either see a person kind of try to get close to that person, maybe because they have something that benefit them, or maybe they coward enough to where they could say that shit and go up under a person and act like they cool with them because they afraid of the repercussion that'll take place. The people really
I'm
knew
so
how
mad.
they felt.
Don't let them snakes get by me like that.
It's in a minute that slither around you.
Ooh-wee.
So when I see it, and I try to be as direct as possible. In the way that the entertainment game works, you don't know who. So you gotta be careful the way you approach people too, because you could see snake shit and you could check that and be all the way right and still be wrong, because that'll affect you detrimentally. You won't be able to move around to certain things to get certain opportunities because them people hate on you. But if you're strong enough, you'll get through it. I've been through that.
Yeah, it's dope. It's me.
Yeah, because people would be like, you know, like they'll be in the wrong and you'll see them do wrong and you'll be like, hey, excuse my language, my people, you a hoe ass nigga. You tell them.
Do you know that I actually Googled that? I know, I'm sorry. I Googled one time, could I be a hoe ass nigga? Okay, and Google said, no, I can't be a hoe ass nigga because that's reserved for a man. I can only be a hoe. Yeah. Can you believe Google really told me that?
Yeah, see.
And then there was a website, and I hate to say it, but it was called All Black Women Are Hoes, right? Oh. And they had 3 hoe classifications, okay? They was like, you could be the paid hoe, you could be the professional hoe, just the one hoe you don't want to be is a dumb hoe. Ain't that a bitch?
But who be writing all this? That's why who writes all this? But no, those just my pet peeves. Like if you want to see me just really go off, and I know it probably don't even be pertaining to me sometime. But if I just see sucking shit, I'd be like, hey man, that ain't what it is. And I try to coordinate my life to where I don't do no wrong shit to nobody, or I don't do nothing flaw out here. Because that's the worst thing, that we try to bring an uplifting message and empowerment to people. Yes. So how can I do that if I'm not A1 with everybody?
Right. My brain blocks that negativity, and I just really try to focus on what I gotta do, you know, to better myself type stuff. The goal is to be better, never bitter out here. So
no, I ain't never gonna be bitter. No. After my year, I could never be bitter. Mm-hmm.
So I can't believe that, you know, this is what I'm doing now. My husband never knew this. I mean, he kind of felt like I'll write a book one day, but I bet he didn't know I'd be doing comedy right now, doing it like this. So it's crazy for me. I don't really have support like that from my family. They don't mess with me. I don't know if you know They don't really mess with me from my mom and my daddy's side, but I still get support from my community and like I guess my higher power.
Yeah, but that's all you need. What I found out is most times that the people that you don't know will be the ones that'll be your most staunch supporters. Like, I'll give you an example. We've been doing this show for the last 2 years. And throughout this show, it was an individual that was watching the show, and I wasn't even aware of it. He watched the show for like months. He finally reached out to me, and he was like, "Hey, young brother, I like what you're doing. Let me get down with you. Let's do this, and that." That was Dr. David Jeremiah, a.k.a. Johnny Binder. That was a fan of the show, and then that grew into a greater relationship. So most times it's not necessarily who the people that you come in with, like your parents, your mama. No, your mama gonna always love you, but you know your kinfolk, that's hit or miss. Sometimes it go down, but the people that really buy into what your core principles and values are, those are the ones that's gonna be your biggest supporter. Those the ones that become family. Yes. So that's your tribe. So we have to learn that in society, even though we got kinship through blood, we're going to have kinship through diversity of thought.
Yeah, and laughter always brings us together too.
Yeah.
All races of people. When they find something funny, it doesn't matter the color. And that's another thing about comedy too. It's beautiful in that regard because it just brings people together to laugh over the craziest things. That's like a universal language.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really don't. I try to avoid the beef. It'll be people that may not like you, but you just gotta keep your head up because they really fall by the wayside.
I don't be can. I don't be can. I still go around them. I'm still going to shine. I don't care.
That's right.
Because, at the end of the day, look, if a person hates you, they love something about you. Because that's how love and hate work. There's a thin line between love and hate. So them people that hate you, they love something about you, or they got something in common with you that they just can't figure out. I'll give you an example. It was a gentleman, my partner. We was on a roast battle when I first started. And I was married then. And we was going at it with each other. We had mutual, respect. We went at it with each other. And he said something about my wedding ring. And I ain't like that. I felt that was supposed to be sacred at that time. And, I had said something to him about it. And it kind of turned the other way. It kind of seemed like it was going to be an altercation. So, our mutual friends, they broke it up or whatever, because it really got heated. And then over time, when we would see each other, all that shit was squashed. Me and this dude, we tight. And I see him now. Like, I seen him probably about a couple of weeks ago in his neighborhood. He was surprised I was over there. But it's always love. And I support him and I show love to him. Shout out to Good Old Finesse.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's all that is. And once we as a people understand that about each other, that sometimes when we have a strong dislike or we have something that going on between each other on that energy, all we got to do is sit down and talk about it, and we bring that together and we'll be number one.
You talking about bringing it together? That don't always work. People get riled up sometimes.
Yeah, people get riled up, and sometimes people get riled up because of miscommunication and lying, and I put it to you like this: people use the word narcissist now, like it's just something hot to use, but they don't know what it means. But they the main one doing it.
Narcissist.
Because, see, anybody, you got to peep it. You got key manipulators out here that will tell folks something about you, and the people don't know, and they'll take their word for it because they relationship with them. And then when that happens, you wonder why people dislike you or people riding against you or this, that, and the other because they going off a word of somebody else.
They weak.
Yeah, but most people are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like my situation, it was a whole situation. People rolled on for the other side, but then when they found out the whole situation, they want to say like, "Man, we sorry," but they can't.
Yeah.
So
See,
they still hate.
I could have asked you questions, but you said you did not want to talk
But
about
we
that
can talk about it. We
situation.
can talk about it. I don't care.
What?
don't
Okay,
care.
because I was just telling him that one of the biggest scandals I had known of him was just being on the Facebook and seeing you was very happily in marriage and stuff. And then when I first heard your comedy, like I heard your comedy before, like you roasted somebody, but like when I really, really first heard, it was like, fuck your ex. And I was like, huh? Because I feel like just a week ago, I had seen you guys happy, but obviously now I see you now are happy in a new relationship, which seems to be an old flame that has rekindled. And so we don't really have to talk about that. You said what it is. It was fuck your past and you looking on to your future. So I just always like to say when I think of you, that's the biggest shock I know of you.
Yeah, because I mean, for the most part, I wasn't very vocal about it. I didn't really say nothing about it. It took a lot for me not to say nothing about it. And what I tell everybody is this: people create images on social media. They'll make themselves look a certain way because I don't know what it is. Because I ain't never really been like that. I just be me. So sometimes I be happy, sometimes I be sad, sometimes I feel like preaching, sometimes I feel like slap shit at somebody. I put all that on there. I don't go do professional photo shoots. That ain't me. That's somebody else. That's from that situation. So they paint a narrative or a picture of that things were a certain way, but all the while they wasn't happy in the situation.
That's why you can't trust these Facebook photos, okay?
Yeah, I
Some
mean,
relationships be looking happy and or not.
like me, I'm cool with whatever. Me, I'm a soldier. Like, yeah, I mean, I know I can't be happy about everything in life. I can't. Because, okay, I put it to you like this. You're in a relationship. This person is really good to you. But this person snore.
Nah.
Or this person fart while they sleep and they fart stink.
Oh, your dude got a little one.
Yeah, will you be able to deal with it?
Right. Ugh.
I mean, what are you able to put up with, right? And when you say you deal with it, are you really going to deal with
Right.
it? Or is that always going to be a problem, right? So I'm the type of person, I deal with shit. I be like, all right, cool. This who you is. I don't really fuck with that, but cool. I rock with it because I fuck with you. Now, another person in their mind, they might not feel that way. They might be like, this might be a pit stop for me to get to where I need to be. Right? So when they do that shit, and then the way that it kind of went down was kind of like that, and we all know what the situation is now. You know, so shout out to her and her baby.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't no daddy though.
Yeah.
But I ain't no hater either. I ain't gonna say nothing real wrong, but it is what it is. But then the cold part about it, everybody in the family, Christians and all this here, but where was the Christians at when the adultery was going on?
That's what I be saying too.
Oh, and I feel like I feel a certain spirit God has talked to me, so I'm ready to divulge some things right now. I don't give a damn, because this is closure, right?
Yes, sir.
So, all right, so this is what we're going to talk about. So what we're going to talk about is, and to my woman right now, you told me don't be petty, but fuck it. I'm going to be petty. Who don't like it, come see me. All right, boom. This is what we finna do. So, this person told me that they wanted space. They told me they was in a bad mental head space because they was with me. Because I work and I manage shit a certain way, and I'm always like this. They wanted freedom. We gave them the freedom. But what they not telling you is they been messing with the person that they had got pregnant for. Right? So when they did all of that, they family knew about it. I know because I got the pictures.
Family ain't SHIT.
Hell no, but they talking about, they all up at the wedding, everybody did that and the other, weekend folk, you family, did that and the other, but then, you at your people party with another nigga. And then you tell these people that I was at work. But I wasn't even in the picture. You was just saying that so it can look easy for you. And then you do what you do. That's what it is.
It's scandalous.
Yeah. So, and then, everybody got something to say about me. Say I didn't do this, I ain't do that. But I always been a man about mine. I did exactly what I needed to do.
That's right.
And I ain't perfect. But at the same time, you always had something to eat. You always had nice clothes. Ain't nobody put their motherfucking hands on you, did they?
Right. I mean, and that's what I learned with my marriage. Sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. You know, if you got a man that got some good qualities, you better hold on to that, because there's a lot of men out here that ain't about nothing. Okay, and I just wanted to touch on when you said the family. And like they be at the wedding and stuff. Like there was a part in my wedding where the pastor say, if you don't feel like these people need to be together, then speak now or forever hold your peace. And nobody said nothing. As soon as we left, they, started working on ripping us apart. And I just know family can be scandalous, bro.
I'm going to tell you the cold game, right? So the cold game, so my brother talked to a woman. The woman been know me since I was a little kid, know my family, right? We supposed to be family, right? That's the main one cranking up the bullshit. That the main one wanna, say something about who I'm with now, say something about the situation, this, that, and the other, but don't let no one side, know her side, and ride with it. And then when I address it with that person act like they ain't got no problem with me, and that person act like I'm tripping. That's narcissism that got like
right, pissing on you saying it's raining.
Right. But see, I done blocked everybody, so I know they writing it. Because I can see it. I can see it in a different way. But I know you saying these things. You're trying to disparage and this, that, and the other. But that's why I say, I always kind of held myself, been reserved, and not really been, like, if I'm in a situation with somebody, I don't really get too immersed with their family. Because I don't trust it. I feel like sometimes when the thing ends, you don't want no loose end. Even with marriage, I thought I was going to be married forever, though.
Me too.
I really thought it, and I thought that we could get through anything. But when it came apparent to me that it wasn't, I ain't had no problem with none of the people calling me. I ain't heard from them people since all this happened. But they still got my name in their mouth.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
I went through something similar, and you see how mine ended. So, which was, I guess, it brought peace. It's crazy. I still get mad because some of the family members, in my opinion, played with us the whole time to where, like life hit different when you see your spouse in a casket, no matter what y'all was going through, So that's how my perspective changed there. But like, how do you think that you would find closure in this?
I already found closure. I found closure at the point when I was informed that she was pregnant with another man's child. So basically, I'm like, it ain't me. Time to go. So I'm good. I'm living my life. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna keep me down. I say, you know what? Throughout that entire journey, I learned. I say, you know what? I'm gonna drop my weight. I'm gonna keep my weight off. I've been successful with that. I figured out ways how to sustain and how to live and how to truly enjoy myself and live out my passion. I ain't got no problem. I'm good. I might shoot a bar every once in a while and say something, but that's just me. I mean, being a comedian, I'm a jug. Yeah. But I don't give a damn. Like, once you out of a situation and once everything cool, I don't have no problem with nobody. I don't want no problem with nobody. I would take it as a problem if people come to me, but then I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be like this, because I understand that there's hurt and anguish in that situation.
Yes.
Because sometimes when they on the other side, they can't get on this side no more. That bridge burnt, and they can't swim. So they got to stay over there in Chilligan Island with the chillin'.
I'm pretty sure it's chilly over there.
Chilligan Island. Yeah, you can't come to Bermuda.
Yeah.
It's the triangle. You get lost over here. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, you
look,
gotta talk your shit, Mr. Ken.
Look, all I'm gonna say is this. I ain't no punk either. But I'm also a thinking man. So, like I say, I ain't got no problem with nobody, but nobody better ask me for nothing or ask me to do nothing, because that book is closed. Them people dead to me. So I can't help with nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about that or that person or how that person living. I gave that person enough of my time, and it wasn't appreciated.
That's solid.
Yeah. And then had the nerve to talk about personal things in public. Like I didn't care for that either. But I never put her personal business out there. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain things that when you in a marriage, that stay in that marriage, that you never should divulge or expose to the world.
That's what's said.
But
He said,
yeah.
Look, I'm like, this your last show, huh?
Yeah.
This the season finale?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is next for you?
Oh, so number one, we figuring out a different way to get the message to y'all. I love stand-up. I got to figure out what I'm going to do next with stand-up. More than likely, it will be more produced shows. I'm going to start producing shows more. So that means I'm going to get back in the venue movement. So you heard how I treat comedians. It's going down. So now we're going to put everything together. So everything that I learned over the last few years, because I've only been doing comedy for 3 years. So we're going to use all of those different elements and we're going to make it into something. So now we had the right level of following. We should have the right level of backing, financially and people-wise. And for the most part, we got the talent because we know everybody in Houston. We know everybody who is great because they've been on this here. And also, we got people from out of town that we're going to bring into the family. They part of the family. They just need to come on in.
Bro, I thank you so much again because I just feel special when you said you had great people on this show. And like I was supposed to be on a show with the Wild Ladies back in the Gap, like in May, and I was unable to attend. But look at you, gave me my little, you invited me back. And so that's very, very dope. It makes me feel good to see, that you did that. So.
But I tell you, so normally how we do it, when we get to the close of the show, I give a monologue. So I give an example about why I picked the whole topic, right? The whole topic, closure. So we had a discussion with Jay Cookie. Jay Cookie told y'all about everything she went through in life, what brought her to comedy, what rounds out her comedy, and what her goals are. Also, she had a chance to ask me some of the tough questions, right? I know some of the questions that y'all may want to ask. And we got to that too. But the most thing about closure is this. Everybody been through something, no matter what it is. Think about it like this. You might have had a good-ass job. You might have worked at the post office. You might have been at the post office for 30 years. You had it the way you wanted to. You had the right price, everything. Then one day, you don't have that job no more. You're going to be walking around feeling bad and sad that you don't work at the post office, or you're going to pick yourself up and go figure out another game that you could do to sustain yourself. That's closure. Closure is understanding that all things must come to an end. But when those things come to an end, there's always a greater beginning.
I receive that.
So you got to have closure. You got to talk about those things that trouble you. You got to also talk about those things that were left loose make them unloose, tighten up your ship and move forward. So I like to ask everybody, look, there's too much going on out here. We worried about people that don't love us. I've seen people where they done got killed messing with they woman or man, and that woman or man didn't want to let go. You got partners out here killing each other behind money. You got people robbing each other. You got all these different things going on. If you don't see a situation that's good for you, seek closure. If you got to cut them off abruptly, do it. Self-preservation is the most important thing. But also realize closure is a good thing, because from closing is a grand opening. So we want to thank y'all for this season. We truly appreciate it. Y'all want to go back through the season and see some of the things that we covered? We had a blast. But Jay Cookie, tell the people how they get in contact with you, what you're doing next.
Yes, you can find me on social media at J.Cookie. And you can find me there on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah, and I post my shows. I got another show coming on the 7th, 10th. I'm booked for the 22nd and the 23rd at Speakeasy. I got the roasting competition on the 10th. I've never really even roasted nobody before, but I said yes to the job because in this season I'm saying yes. I be like, yes. So, you know what I'm saying? And then on the 7th, I'm doing Love, Life, and Relationships. It's a comedic spin on life and love. So we'll be doing that. So, you know, I'm keeping it busy around him. And of course, I'm going to be hitting up these open mics all through the city. So don't ask me which one, because I'll be at all of them. Just follow me and I'll let you know where I'll be at. I put it in my story. Y'all come check me out. You know what I'm saying? Come check me out. And don't come to hate. Come to show some support. I'm a single mother. I need to get out the ghetto.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, Jay Cookie. Thank you for rocking with us. But we'll see y'all sometime soon. We close the night. Ken Mills here, Unbiased on Boss Up Houston Network. Hello, fam. Ken Mills here once again with World of Comedy 5 Entertainment. So to give you the idea of what Unbiased is, we always see things on social media and also in the world where we wonder what is the thought process behind these idiotic things that people do. We're going to give an honest, unbiased opinion. So with that being said, we're going to cover several different topics. These topics will start from mental health, addiction, finance, incarceration, relationships. We're going to be truly unbiased this season. So remember, tune in at 8 p.m. Check us out on Boss Up Houston Network. Hello, fam. Ken Mills here once again with World of Comedy 5 Entertainment. So to give you the idea of what Unbiased is, we always see things on social media and also in the world where we wonder what is the thought process behind these idiotic things that people do. We're going to give an honest, unbiased opinion. So with that being said, we're going to cover several different topics. These topics will start from mental health, addiction, finance, incarceration, relationships. We're going to be truly unbiased this season. So remember, tune in at 8 p.m. Check us out on Boss Up Houston Network.